We had a house on St. Simon's within the past month, and we went up in the attic. They bought the home and realized that the people had left a bunch of stuff up there. Well, as we're going through it, I mean, these pictures are probably from the 30s and 40s. Folks going off to World War II, and those their boot camp pictures. So we actually got a hold of the previous property owner and said, hey, we found a bunch of your stuff up here through the realtor, and said we've set aside these boxes of keepsakes for you guys because we just didn't want to see them. We'll let y'all go through it. So those it's very rewarding for us because yes, we are there to do a service. We want to get that new property owner or homeowner taken care of. But if we do find sentimental items like that, I like to have the opportunity to kind of go through that myself, and that's what we want to give back to the customer.
What's up, Camden County? You are catching episode 113 of the Getting in Your Business podcast. I'm your host, Alison Shores with the Camden County Chamber of Commerce. This Getting in Your Business podcast is made possible by our Chairman Circle sponsors, Georgia's Own Credit Union, Lockheed, Comcast, Georgia Power Company, Sparklight, Plug Power, St. Mary's DDA, TDS Telecom, and Ameris Bank. Thank you to all of our sponsors. All right, guys, I had to bring a guy back in the studio because we had some more things to talk about. Everybody, please welcome Josh Hickman. And today, Josh, first of all, thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
And
be back.
Yeah, and so I'm bringing you back in because we have another business to talk about, and it is called Quick Dumps Junk.
Quick Dumps Junk, QD for short.
QD, okay. So, let's just get into it. So, what is Quick Dumps Junk?
So, Quick Dumps, its origin, we started it in 2020.
Okay.
And I'm saying we because my business partner at the time, he was working for Golf Channel, NBC, was traveling a whole lot.
Wow, okay.
And they were starting a family, wanted to get back home. And so we were brainstorming ideas of service in our area that was kind of lacking. Yeah. And so in 2020, we were just sitting around and we said, man, Quick Dumps, how catchy.
It is.
The brand is going to stick out. And
for sure.
So we started off doing dumpster rentals, dropping dumpsters off, doing that kind of stuff.
Like the big ones?
Yep, the big ones. And our whole mindset was it was going to be concierge service. And so, we didn't want to be the guys that did a bunch of commercial jobs or something like that. This is for, individuals, property owners, HOAs, POAs, stuff like that, where you didn't necessarily need a commercial dumpster to be sitting outside your home.
Right.
We just wanted to come in, do the service. Quick is in our name, so we wanted to show up, get the job done, and be ready to rock and roll. So we did that for about 3 years.
Okay.
My other business, which is Hickman Home Furniture, I bought some new trucks back in 2023, and so I had a few box trucks that were sitting around, and I said, man, why don't we put these on the road?
Yeah. And
we'll do the dumpsters and just a straight up junk hauling where we show up. True concierge service. You say, hey, I need a junk removal today. We show up, we do it for you, and there's nothing sitting around. So
you will come and take all my junk?
I'll come and take all the junk. Doesn't matter what it is. We're pretty open to what we'll take, except for like batteries and motor oil and, that kind of stuff. But whatever the landfill will let us dump, we'll take it.
Because, I work with so many different people and businesses and all the things. And, lately I've heard some of my realtors, like people are just moving out, like some of the property managers, they're like, Allison, it is disgusting. Like we've got to, like, not only is it dirty and they got to do cleaning, but they leave stuff.
A ton.
And so I've always wondered, like, what do people do with, like, what do you do when you're left with stuff? Like, like, I know I couldn't just haul something off, I don't have the equipment or the space to do that,
right. And that was kind of our thought process behind it because, we know a lot of realtors, we know these property managers, apartment complexes, and our thought is like, man, what are these people doing with all that stuff?
Yeah.
And so we saw the need for it. We acted pretty quick, got started pretty early on as far as, a junk removal service. And it transitioned into, we ended up, I bought my business partner out about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I sold the dumpsters. And so now we just do straight hauling, utilizing our box trucks. It was a busier service for us. We're not doing as much running around with the dumpsters. So it truly is a concierge service where you call us. Our pricing is very transparent. We don't really mess around with, we need to load up the dumpster, and then we're going to charge you extra if you go over the weight or anything
Yeah,
like
that's what I was going to ask.
And we set our minimums at $175. That includes the junk fee.
Wow.
We're taking it to the dump, provides the service that we go, and then the pricing goes up based on volume. So for us, it's a very easy service. I try to make it easy for the consumer as possible, because as a consumer myself, I don't want to call a bunch of companies and get hit with a bunch of hidden fees, and people are, they're confused at the time of service. So I just tell people, hey, this is the price. This includes all your fees. We'll show, here's your time window. And, I think it's important too if you tell a customer you're going to be there at 1 o'clock, you're showing up between 1 and 2 o'clock, you're there.
Yes.
You don't want to have people waiting around till 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, wasting their day.
Thank you for understanding that, because these windows of times, sometimes they can range from 8 to 12, and you're like,
right.
Wait.
I don't want to be here all day.
Yeah. And then I'm waiting from 8 and then they show up at 11:30, and I'm like, well,
right.
If you could have just shortened my window a little bit, It would have made it easier to plan my day.
And I'm very accommodating for people. If it's something, easy that can be put out in a garage or put it in your driveway, whatever it is, or they have a garage door code, we'll just show up over there, do the service, and, I'll bill you afterwards, or leave cash, check, card, whatever it is. And I think a lot of that comes too from being in the service industry, having, a business that you're catering to people all the time. There's a delivery service with it. And, that transferred into this other business where you want to make sure that customer is the priority and you're getting them taken care of, and, being sensitive of their time and obviously the money that's being spent with you. So,
and two, I know how you are on customer service, just us talking last time and getting to know you. You're all about that. So I know it translates into this business as well.
For sure.
But that's really cool. Now, what about, there's some heavy things, those go too?
Yep. So one of the good things about the two guys that I have working for me, one's with me for 16 years. The other one's been with me for going on 4 years. And so they also work on the furniture delivery side of my other business. So we're used to handling those heavy items. We're used to being cautious in homes, especially if we go in there and you're removing the items physically from the home. And so we'll come in, we'll wrap everything if we need to. We bring in the appropriate equipment to move the items for you. And, some of the bigger things that we run into, it seems like everyone doesn't want to touch a piano. And
that's a good one, though. Yeah, I get it.
We do pianos all the time.
Do you?
And so we've gotten really good at, handling those and moving them. I mean, we take them from second floor of homes and we can get them out. So
that's a big thing. My parents just moved recently, and they've had this piano forever, and they didn't know what to do with it, and moving it, they didn't want to move it anymore. They're, getting past that. And it's not anything I could handle in my house. It's a beautiful piano, but it would just be sitting there. So, you just think about those things. And I did not realize so much went into moving a piano. I've just never had to stop and think about it.
Well, they're awkward. They're cumbersome. People don't know how to handle them because the weights are weird. And
yeah. And you want to be careful, and it's just all the things. Wow. I hadn't even thought about a
just
piano.
Within the last couple of weeks, we had someone that came in, they put all new floors in their house, and they worked around the piano because they didn't know how to move it. Yeah. And so they called around, and another reference for us said, hey, QD will come and take care of that for you. So when we came in, we laid, protected the floors for the people, and we disassembled it and was able to get it out for them. So we run into all kinds of stuff. I mean, we've gone to houses where they are redoing their landscaping, and they had a koi pond in the backyard. Oh. And they said, we don't want the koi pond anymore. We don't even know what to do with the fish. And so we show up, and there's a koi pond there with fish still in it.
Oh, okay.
And so you're like, all right. So, you make some calls and you kind of figure out, or put it in someone else's pond. People, wanted it. So we took care of the fish for them. We also removed the koi pond.
That's a whole nother level, because most people would have just been like, all right, fish, bye.
Right.
But you found a home for him. Yep. I love this.
So, we do everything from just a couple of days ago, we did an eviction job for a local property owner here, had a couple units that we needed to remove for him. And it's like you were saying earlier, some of these people, you don't know how they live in these homes. And you go in there and you are sensitive to all that stuff. And so we go in there, we try to be as professional as we can and get it cleaned out. But we do a lot of, whole house clean outs. we'll do, just come by and pick up yard debris for somebody. So that's when those fees kind of come, you can either do a $175 minimum, or, some of these jobs can be a couple $1,000s if we have to bring in equipment. And, we've gone into some hoarding situations where people acquire a property from somebody and the backyard's littered with stuff. So I go in with the tractor and load it up. If we need a bigger dumpster, it makes it easier for us. I'll rent the dumpster and take care of it that way. So I work with a lot of property owners to figure out what the most cost-effective process is for them. If it's cheaper for me to get a dumpster and it makes it more efficient for the homeowner, saves them some money, I'll do it that way. If it's something that we can handle just in our box trucks, then we'll come in there and load it up and be in and out. So, I think it's important to tell people too, is most of our jobs that we do, we can be in and out of there in 15, 20 minutes. So
I love that.
if a customer calls up and says, hey, I've got a sectional, an armoire, some old rugs or moving boxes or whatever it is, I said, hey, text me a picture and I'll get you a quote out and we'll show up and do the job. And, sometimes that's good for me. Sometimes it's good for them, but, it's just providing that service for somebody, takes a little bit off their plate and, helps them out. And
well, that's the thing. And in life, like, my parents just, and I hate to keep going back to them.
They got a lot going on.
Yeah. Like, but they just moved out of, my childhood home. So like, 30 something years they'd been in that house. And so when they were moving there was just so much stuff, my mom's kept everything from when we were, when me and my sister were younger. And she's like, but I just think about, I think about them, and I think about people that have to, they have somebody close to them or their parents, pass away, and they're left with the house and what to do. And, there, of course there's things you're going to keep and, but then there's all this other stuff. What are you supposed to do with it? Right. And so there's just so many circumstances where I don't think people think about these kinds of services and them existing, when they're going through these types of things. 'Cause it may not be something you have to use all the time in your life, but there are times where it is so helpful and needed.
I'll show up for customers that, for that prime example you're giving, is they get a home from their parents or grandparents or whomever it is, and they go up in the attic and realize it's loaded.
Yeah.
And so we'll actually go up there with the customer. We'll bring the items down for them. They can go through it and take a look and whatever they want to pitch or dispose of or even donate. I've got great relationships with Habitat, Hello Goodbye, a bunch of these other Sparrow's Nest, anyone that can utilize these pieces that are, I don't want to see them go to the landfill. Yeah. So if they request, hey, I want to donate these items so they're still usable or whatever it is, we'll make sure that gets taken care of too. So their family's memories or their attachment to it, or if it's still usable, can go to a good home and someone else can use it.
Well, I feel like the attic is always forgotten about.
It is.
Because even when we bought our house, we got up into the attic and there were a bunch of stuff up there.
Oh, yeah.
That, there were like suitcases and baseball cards and, just all these things. And I'm like, wait.
We had a house on St. Simon's within the past month. And we went up in the attic. They bought the home and realized that the people had left a bunch of stuff up there. Well, as we're going through it, these pictures are probably from the 30s and 40s. Folks going up to World War II, and there was their boot camp pictures. So we actually got a hold of the previous property owner and said, hey, we found a bunch of your stuff up here through the realtor, and said, we've set aside these boxes of keepsakes for you guys because we just didn't want to see them. We'll let y'all go through it. So, those it's very rewarding for us because, yes, we are there to do a service. We want to get that new property owner or homeowner taken care of. But if we do find sentimental items like that, I like to have the opportunity to kind of go through that myself, and that's what we want to get back to the customer too.
Because who wouldn't want to, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But I think that speaks to you, your character, and how you run these businesses, because you actually care and you put yourself in people's shoes. You're like, well, if I had left this in the attic, I would want these back.
Absolutely.
And so I think that just speaks to you, and it just, like I said, how you do business. I love that so much. It speaks to your character.
I think in the way that I run my businesses is surrounding yourself with people that are like-minded.
Yep.
And they want to give that same service to the customer, and they represent me when they're out there doing the business or doing the job. So for me, having those all my employees.
Yeah.
I feel very comfortable sending them out there. And I tell a lot of my customers, I may not be out there doing the job, but my guys that are coming out there, I trust them. They've got keys to everything that I have.
Yeah.
And so if I trust them to go into, my personal stuff and help with my family, they're going to help you out in the same exact way.
100%. Yeah.
So
now, what's the weirdest thing or the most unique thing that you've ever had to remove?
For some reason, it comes back to fish.
Fish.
Because
that's
people,
a pretty good one.
They'll move and go like, I don't know how to get rid of an 80-gallon fish tank or a 150-gallon koi pond or whatever it is. And so a lot of times they show up to these houses and like, hey, everything in the house goes, but I will let you know there's a fish tank in there. And sometimes we just run a hose in it and you got to let it go. I mean, you don't have any other option, but we've done houses where we go in and there was a raccoon in the house because it had sat there. There's been cats in the house.
People just leave their cats?
Well, I don't know if this was a stray cat.
Gotcha.
Or,
okay. Yeah.
I'm walking through. I'm actually doing a video for social media. I'm walking through and this cat runs out of nowhere.
Like, hey.
Oh, yeah. Scared the crap out of me.
Make my appearance.
Yeah. So, we run in, truthfully, everything you can possibly think of, we have run into doing these jobs.
Yeah.
It could be the cleanest house you've ever seen and we go in, we're in and out, or it could be, the walls are crawling.
Yeah.
So we see a wide variety of different things and we're not afraid to tackle anything. Some jobs I respectfully turn down.
Yeah.
Just because I know it's outside the scope that I'm really trying to focus in on. And, that's when, some other bigger players can come into, and if they want to tackle it, let's go with me.
Yeah.
So, doing this for 6 years, we have a great customer base. The word of mouth is really good for us, and they know what our niche is. I mean, our true niche is you call us up, we offer same day or next day service. That's transitioned more into people will call us up and book us out a week or 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time because we do have a really great reputation in town. Thank you. Yeah. And I want to continue doing that service for people and making sure that they're taken care of, and I don't want to overextend myself.
And two, like some of my businesses, when we're trying to find home for different businesses and things, like sometimes those buildings are left with just crap, chairs, random desks that the leg is missing and, whatever it is. So I want our businesses to know too, that you'll take care of that stuff too.
100%. Yep.
So that's important. And as big as, as much as we're changing here in Camden and growing and things, it's a lot. We're going to see a lot of that. Now you said one thing I want to go back to before we move on was the, yard debris. So we are in hurricane season, so there is no telling, from here to, I think, what is it, in September, November? Anyway.
Yeah.
So what kind of yard debris do you pick up?
Yeah. So, Camden offers twice a year that you can do a large, bulk pickup, but getting that on the schedule, we all know takes some time, and it's not always as easy as it sounds. So people a lot of times will pile stuff up on the curb and then it goes 2, 3, 4 weeks and you're tired of looking at it. So we'll come in there, we'll take care of that for you, and that way you don't have to wait on the county. And it really just boils down to efficiency and the time. Yeah. So if you're willing to wait on the time and you want to get on the county schedule, that's cool. But if it's just like, hey, I've got a bunch of trash bags sitting out here, we did some pruning, or hey, we stacked up a bunch of, we cut down a tree and it's all sitting there, we'll run by, take care of that, and very easy for us to do. So there's really, you were asking about interesting things that we've done. Yeah. Had a friend of mine called me and said, hey, my mother-in-law's, the roof on her dock collapsed in a storm, and half of it's laying on the dock, half of it's in the water. We don't know what to do. Yeah. And so I said, well, I'll come out there and take a look at it, see if it's something that we can tackle for you. So I brought my guys out there and they said, oh yeah, we can knock this out. So I went and got a mini excavator and got a chainsaw out, cut holes in the roof, and I was able to pick it up, set it on land, and then we took chainsaws to it, cut it up, and took care of it for them. And so when I tell you there's not really much that we won't tackle, if I have the time to do it and the resources and access is really the biggie, we'll take care of it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. I try not to say no too much.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that when they call us, they know that we can offer a solution for them and get them taken care of.
Yeah. Man, that's amazing. Because, there's just so much that I think, like I said before, people don't think about it until you need it. And then you're like, what am I supposed to do with this stuff? And just knowing that somebody will come, take it apart, put it, take it away.
We do trampolines. People buy trampolines for their kids, and they use them for 4 or 5 years, and then they realize, kids grow up, and the adults definitely aren't getting on it, because I've jumped on a few of them. We go to pick them up, and I'm like, man, I don't know how I did this as a kid.
Right. Listen, same. Camden Adventures over there. I'm like, you start doing all that stuff, and you think you can just jump back on it you're a kid again. Yep. No, you hurt in places, and you don't even know, you don't even know what you really did. But
you're there. I jumped on one, just to jump over for a couple of minutes, and I was like, I'm whooped.
Same. And it was just like, my body's just not made to do that
anymore.
And that's so sad to me.
We do a lot of stuff with these families where, they have a playground set up in the backyard for their kids, and they're like, hey, we have this sand pit. How do we tear this thing up? And so we put a plan together for them and go out there, and it's easy for the consumer. They just say, hey, come in here, y'all handle it. And that's as easy as I want to make it for them. Just one phone call, send me a picture. I figure out the rest.
I love it. Thank you. I'm glad. Thank you for all that information. Is there anything else you wanted to say about quick dumps?
Yeah. So I keep a truck here, keep it at my furniture store. So I have a truck there. I keep a truck in Brunswick. So no matter where we're at, we're able to offer service, really up and down the coast. We go all the way, we'll go out to Folkestone, Charlton County. We'll go up to Jessup, over to St. Simons, Jekyll Island, so we cover about 60 miles of territory here. We'll go down to Yulee, Fernandina.
I was going to ask Yulee, yeah.
Yep. So we go down there and do that service. But, most of the time, if you need a same-day service, we can accommodate that for you. The good thing is we're in the area, so my guys are already working here. So it's very easy to do. And, just call me, text me, follow us on social media. And the easiest way to get me, a lot of, with spam calls these days, who's calling.
It's crazy.
The easiest way to do it is just, send me a text with your name, address, and a picture of what you need done, and we'll get you scheduled.
What's that number?
It is 912-289-7678.
We'll make sure we put that in the show notes as well. Before we wrap up, I wanted to touch on you also on J. Hickman Furniture.
Yeah.
And so, I know we've already done a podcast on it, but are there any updates, anything you guys have going on? Because I've been seeing your videos and stuff online. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's trying to stay really active on social media. It's just, staying consistent with it. And we have so much new stuff coming and going all the time. Yeah. As anybody that's in merchandise sales, seasons change, styles change. And one thing I wanted to offer to Camden is we have variety, and we're always changing out what we have. Yeah. And so I joke with people and say, well, if you're coming in and you look at it today, you better take a picture of it, because it may not be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're one of the only, few stores that offer, we bring stuff in so often, it doesn't sit on the floor very long. So if you want it that day, we'll load it up and bring it to you.
And y'all have such a large selection. So it's not just, you don't just have like today's trends. You have traditional, you have modern, you have different things to fit all kinds of different personality types.
We do.
And I love that you keep changing it up and giving us something different.
We keep our classics in there. You'll come in, you'll see the same pieces in there, because whether it's a price point item that's really moving for us and that's what people are liking, or if you want to get into the customized stuff, those tend to change pretty often.
Yeah.
But, the biggie there for me is I don't want people leaving Camden County to go find something else.
Either.
I want them, when they come into the store, that they can find that same style, that same look, or whatever they may have seen. And I think it's important to point out that I offer, pricing anywhere from, if you need a $400 sofa, I can offer that to you.
Yep.
If you wanted an $8,000 customized piece,
I was about to say, and on the flip side,
I can do that for you too. Yep. So I cover, if you come into the store, I carry such a wide, variety and range of pricing, styles, fabrics, bedroom furniture, mattresses. We can do the whole home for you, and
And I invite people to bring their ideas. What are you looking for? What are we trying to say?
That's right.
Because your people are so great in there. Every time I go in, they're so nice and so helpful, and just, I don't know, I leave there and I'm just like, why can't everybody be like this?
We wanted to bring that family service. And
Absolutely.
I know we've talked, in the previous episode and the way I run my businesses, it's a true family business. People that worked for me are family. And
they are.
We've been there for so long. And, they convey that family feel when somebody comes in. We don't pressure you into anything.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that when you leave our store that you're absolutely 100% pleased with what you're getting. And as soon as it enters your home, you know exactly what you're getting and what you're expecting. And, I think we deliver on that.
You do.
And I'm very proud to be here in Camden. My family's had a furniture store here for 35 years. And I hope to have a store here for another 35 years.
Well, what I want to just say to you, and I just want to shout you out a little bit, because, not only are you, here in our community and serving our people, but you're also trying to get to know some of the business owners. Like, I know you said you went down to Low Country and saw Delante and Brooke. And so, like, I think that's so cool. Shout out to you for staying plugged in to what we have going on and going by and actually meeting people and trying to form relationships and doing things together. I just think it's really cool. And I just appreciate how you've jumped in and just really loved on our people so hard.
Well, I think that
matters.
Shout out to you guys, is what the chamber is doing, is building that community here. And it's really making it more tight knit for us. And, I was listening to the podcast, heard Dee on there talking about the new store. And I said, man, I need to go down there and check it out. And, come to find out, we're from the same hometown.
I know. That is such a small world. Yep. When you told me that, I was like, what?
Yep. We graduated the same year from high school together. I had moved away from that town, and he had moved in after I had left. But all of our family literally lives within a couple miles of each other.
That is so wild.
And his uncle is actually the principal of my elementary school now. So it's pretty cool how that stuff comes around. And and again, that goes back to that small town feel. You're building relationships with people, and whether it's business owners or your customers, I think Camden has something really special, and this podcast and what the chamber is doing is really bringing that together for people.
Thank you very much, Josh. I appreciate that. Listen, we're a village of people just trying to do good things in our community. That's literally, and I tell everybody I'm a praying woman, and when I don't know what to do, I go to him. So it's,
Amen to that.
So yeah, well, I could keep you here all day talking about this stuff. I really appreciate your time. Was there anything that you wanted to mention before that I haven't covered in here that you just wanted to say?
No, check out, the J. Hickman brands on Facebook and Instagram. So J. Hickman Home Furniture, and then Quick Dumps Junk Removal. Both are on Instagram and Facebook. I'm stay very active on social media, so you get to know the business owner, you get to know the employees, you know who's going to be showing up at your door, and we just want to build those relationships with people. And like I said, text me. My number is 912-289-7678. You call me, you text me, you get me, and we'll set you up.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time today. All right, guys, you have caught episode 113 of the Getting in Your Business podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe, and get down to J. Hickman Furniture and Quick Dumps Junk. I can't ever get it out, Kanan.
Quick Dumps Junk Removal.